feel like this because I'm excited to share with you about the power of self-worth. And you're worth it. What does that mean? Why are we always talking about this, worth that, besides in cost? What is that worth? That's when we really start to take note of worth. But do you ever take note and worth when it comes to yourself and the things that you desire and the things that you want and you can't achieve, but you're putting to the side because you feel like as if other things need to get done first before you could go into your deepest desires and build on that inner worth? Now, let's see what the definition on Google says what worth is all about. So, based from the University of Carolina, they say self worth is the internal sense of being good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others. Self worth is often confused with self esteem, which relies on the external factors such as successes and achievements to define worth and can often be inconsistent, leading to someone's struggle with feeling worthy. Now, there's truth to all of that was said there, but I challenge one part that says self worth is all about feeling the sense of good enough and worthy of love and belonging from others. Mm. When it comes to your wellness, the self worth definition is all about understanding you are worth every second, every moment that you have to build and elevate yourself because you know you're worth it. You take that time to learn. You apply what you have learned and you do it within your own authentic way so that you can evolve with that learning. Understanding your self worth is knowing that by putting others or things aside is not saying that they're not important. What it's saying is in order for you to be even more present for all the things that you need to do, you need to be in the optimal mind, body, and soul status, right? It's like that airplane example where you have to put the mask on your face first before you can help others. But we are constantly getting confused with what self-worth really means when it comes to wellness and yourself, not about the love that you're getting from others, but what about the love that you give to yourself first? You know, it's like when I always say, when you love something so deeply, you're going to nourish it. You're going to sing to it. You're going to make sure it has its adequate nourishments. And that's why loving the skin you are in is imperative to all of our walks in our journey of this thing called life. But it starts with you taking action. Now, I come on here all the time and give great information, which I love to give because that's just what I love to do. That's my thing. Even wearing my Guns N' Roses top with my holes in it, it doesn't matter. I'm showing up for in my own authentic skin because I know my worth and the words that I have to share with others can also elevate, not even can, will also elevate others because I've been there. I've been there too, where I put everything and everyone before me. And I was doing everything. And it was, I felt like as if I was fine until I realized that I was just a hamster in a circle and just going around and around in a circle, without actually having a final destination, living that mundane life, not truly understanding my worth until I looked in the mirror and couldn't even recognize my own reflection. How many of you have done that? Walked past your mirror and went, oh my gosh, and just started attacking your own worth. And this is why I bring to you all the time about the power of wellness, how you need to have some form of wellness program in your life. You may not even understand what it is, and that's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm here to build and elevate us all, because we are all worth everything that we desire. Because as I always say to people, it is a gift to be born. Every day is a present. And that means that we should celebrate who we are and all that we are doing in the now every single day. But when you don't put your self-worth, the love for yourself inside, it's not about that self-esteem, about getting those achievements from others, getting that recognition, feeling like as if you need to feel worthy from others. That comes from feeling worthy with yourself first. Now, I give all the information, and I know you can relate to that feeling of lack of energy, the feeling of time running past us so much that it's like, oh, to do something for myself, or even to really truly understand the power of food. You don't need to diet. There's no, take off the tea and what you get. But when you fully understand the food that you are putting into your body, how it nourishes the parts that you absolutely love, which is you, your worth for thyself increases, it heightens, it elevates, it makes you want even more because of that inner feeling of worth. And it is important for us to really get going. So all the information, it's time for us to have this conversation. I am just a click away where we can really go in detail about wellness and how important it is to have all areas of your wellness aligned. And most importantly, to understand everything that we do in a wellness program is about elevating, it's about uplifting and readjusting habits so that they align to exactly what you desire in your life, giving you that energy. And of course, when you have that confidence, not only is that self-worth, it's already there, it's heightened, but also that strive, that voice, that presence just comes even greater. It's no longer about what school you went to, what your environment is, or where your body status is at this moment. It's about deciding right now, in the now, to take action on yourself, to decide right now that there's no other day that's going to pass where your self-worth is challenged by everybody else on the external. Today is the day that you are going to say, now I am taking action on me so that I can be more present, not only for myself, but for others in a most optimal state. We can make better decisions, show up with that style and grace. We all have it in us. We have all the keys that we desire to be. But with all the distractions, the uncertainty of even knowing what to do, where to do, or even how to start, it tends to block us. Now, I've done many of workshops in the past. Great workshops. Lots of people have come to them. Great feedback. Even some amazing clients I have from there. And I always say, I get so much feedback about all this great information that they've learned. They get hyped. They're excited to do something, but they say, next week or later. With the intention, I know they have an intention to do something, but this thing called life starts to change us. This thing called our mundane routines, old habits, limiting beliefs start to lurk into our mindset. And when it does, what happens? Our self-worth is challenged. And then we start saying, you know what? Subliminally, without us even realizing, we say, I love what was said and I know I need to do this, but maybe after. And we all know what happens with after. It's followed by procrastination. And then when that procrastination builds even more on the things that you know you need to do now, that self-worth is challenged. Those beliefs of Camille, I should have did it, you could have done it, would, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That whole, man, if I had just started this 2 years ago, where would I have been? So let's stop that today. We're not going to think about, oh man, if I had started this day in 2 years prior, this is where I'll be. That's in the past. We now understand the power of taking action. So in the present now, we understand that we want to build and increase, enhance, and elevate our self-worth. We know it takes guidance. It takes taking action and doing the work. And most importantly, understanding what work needs to be done in your lifestyle. But if you just take the information that's constantly given and not apply it, or feel like as if, maybe I could do it here, there, and everywhere, what happens? We just continuously come to workshops, go and read the books, but do nothing. And use an excuse as a reason as to why it didn't happen. And I always say, remember, whether you do something with an excuse or you don't do something, they both build a result. So, which side of the fence of the results do you want to be on? I am passionate about women's self worth. I am passionate about women understanding to love the skin that they're in every season. I am passionate for teaching my fellow women that we must now love the journey our body has been brought us to thus far. No longer are we going to compare ourselves to when we were 20 or keeping up with the social media Joneses or being that enemy to our inner me. Today's the day that we are going to say, I'm worth it. I celebrate where I have been able to get to thus far. I am grateful for all the blessings that continue to come into my life. And I take the action steps in order for me to continuously grow on these new lifestyle habits. Because as we know, habits are something that we continuously have to be repetitive with, repetition, and consistent with so that it becomes a lifestyle. So in my program, it's all about building up that self-worth, regaining that energy, building and proving to yourself that you've always had that time for you. And you know what? What's going to happen? Everyone around you is going to see the changes in you. They're going to gravitate to the changes, to all that you have, because energy attracts energy. And when your energy is at a high, that's when all of the attraction is going to really, truly come. And you're going to really take note of these opportunities because you have a clear, definitive vision on all your goals because you've taken that time for you. So I'm super excited to always be bringing this information to everyone here. And I really, really, really encourage you all to take that next step. Don't just take the information and say, maybe later. Oh, that was good. Oh, yeah, I can see where she's coming from. And do nothing. Because I don't want you to be like me, what happened to me a few years back when I walked past that mirror. When I thought I was present for my family, yes, I was driving them places. Yes, I was feeding them, but I was not mentally present because I was sitting in a Modane box, tired, drained. Even thinking about that just brings me back, right? Brings me back to that feeling. And I always say it's great to accept the feelings because I know what that feeling is. And I also know it's not going to live in this household anymore. It's not. I've accepted it. I know what triggers it. And it's that self-worth. And I release it through taking actionable steps, putting myself in arenas that elevate me, that motivate me, inspire me, eating the food that nourishes not only my body externally, but my mindset mentally, that shows my body with gratitude. Thank you. And also to know that in order for us to have any form of change in our life, it requires that repetition. It requires that consistency. And we are all humans. And humans, if we haven't learned one thing over this last few years with the pandemic, we are creatures that excel when we work together. Accountability. It's something with our mindset that we don't want to let somebody down or our co-partner down. It's the amazing race. That's not done solo. It's done in pairs. Everything, if you really sit back in life, is a social setting of some sort. And that's what accountability is. It's about having that GPS. It's about guiding you into the direction, into the journey that is where you need to go and redirecting you when there's traffic or there's bumps in the road. And most importantly, keeping you aligned with your goals, keeping you accountable to achieving everything that you can. You made these goals, which means that your inner self says, yeah, I got this. We got this, right? So definitely connect with me today. Book your discovery call. What's it going to cost you? Absolutely nothing. Let's start building on your self-worth. Let's increase all that you want to develop in your life for yourself first, unapologetically, knowing that when you are in the optimal state, Everybody around you, including your business, your mindset, your spirituality, the vibration, the universe, every kind of frequency will flow to you because you're worth it. Thank you all so very much for rocking with me. You know I am a talker, and it's now time to take that action. So connect with me today and let's get crack-a-lacking with building up your overall wellness, mind, body, soul, spirit. And of course, when that's all aligned, that business of yours, it's just gonna, telling you, energy attracts energy. You got this. We got this. Now let's go. Have yourselves a glorious day. And never, ever forget, the only person who has to believe in you is you. And in order for those beliefs to transpire into reality, it requires you to take action and to do the work. It doesn't just happen off of a dream or a belief or an idea. It actually needs to be taken action, doing the work that you know you need to do to create lasting habits that evolve into a lifestyle, from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You got this. We got this. Now let's go. Have yourselves a glorious day, and I look forward to connecting with you today, right now. Let's go. I am available, and it's time for you to be available for you. Infinite energy, constantly going. You can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You got this. We got this. Now, let's go. Bye-bye.